Hi everyone, and welcome to Calm Creations Flosstube. My name is Tia, and this is my little channel here on YouTube where I share all my crafty bits and pieces. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to do a bit of a craft with me on my slow stitching needlebook. So I thought I would turn the camera on and have you do it with me, so you can see where I'm up to and what I'm doing. So we will flip you down the other way and you can get a view of what I'm going to be working on today. I don't know how it's going to go. I'm going to probably run out of things to talk about, but we'll see. Okay, see you in a sec. Okay, hopefully that's a good view of what I'm going to be working on today. This is my slow stitched needle book that I started I think about 6 months ago, and I just haven't done anything on it, so I thought I would pull it out and do some stuff on it and take you along with me. So this is, I haven't done the closure yet. I don't know yet how I'm going to do the closure, but this is how it's going to work. So we're going to open that up and open that up, and then move those out of the way. I'll need those. And then this is the inside of it. Move that up out the way. So we're going to have a pocket here. These are going to be the needle pages. So, and they're going to flip, you know, each page. And then this is the back part. So this is going to be a pocket in here as well. I've thread basted all my pieces on, ready to slow stitch that and embellish it. And then I've got, so those are the pages. These parts here I need to stitch down once all of the rest is put together, and these are going to be, you know, I'm going to put wonder clips or pins or whatever, and using those bits of crochet trim. But today I thought we would work on the pages. This little heart I slow stitched, and I've put magnets in here, so those are for my scissors, so they just slip in there and they're magneted in and they will stay. So let's move all of this out the way. I've got my baskets to the side, so I've got two big baskets. This is my basket with all of my ribbons and threads, and this is a set that I got from work, and it was only like 63 cents, but it was a friendship bracelet, there's another one, kit, and I'm just using all of these threads, and I've got bits that I've been given. I've got ribbons in here, and these are the ones that I'm using at the moment. I don't know where they came from, but the colours are nice. So these, I'm just using all of these bits and pieces in my needle book. So these are the pages. I've stamped all the different types of needles that I'm going to have in my book on calico, and then just done a running stitch that piece onto a piece of fabric, and then I've got to stitch these down, stitch the piece of felt down, and then join the pages together. So those two will be joined together. If you, stick that in there. Here's what it will look like when the page is done. So I've done this one. So running stitch all around there, running stitch around there, and then I will join the pages together with just a running stitch. So I thought we could do that together for today. I'll just move those out the way. And have a bit of a chat, and I'm probably going to run out of things to say. I don't know what to talk about. So we will see how we go. It is, what day today? Today is Wednesday, the 19th of October. Today is my oldest daughter's birthday. She is 30 today. So yes, time sure does fly. She's got her sister here from New Zealand. She came, was it yesterday she arrived? This is her half sister. So they're going out tonight. They're going to Dracula's, which is a restaurant down at, I think it's in Broadbeach, which is down in Surfers Paradise, down on the coast. And so they're going there for dinner tonight. Spencer's coming, so I'll be looking after him. He'll be coming for the night, so I will bring him home after work for the night, so that they can go out. But apart from that, nothing exciting has been happening. I did a little bit of this yesterday. I was watching a Stitch With Me video, and I got quite a bit done, so that was good. I was going to film this a bit earlier this morning, but then the neighbours over the road, they've just moved out and they've just had all their bong clean and everything done, and the lawnmower people turned up, so that got a bit delayed. But so whether their house is going to be for sale or they're going to rent it out again, I have no idea. But the rent here is just astronomical. It is beyond a joke. How families can afford it, I have no idea. It's I mean, I know we're in a rental crisis, and it's very, very hard to find somewhere to live. My daughter's in real estate, and it's very, very difficult. But not only that, it's dead money. It's, but anyway, that's how it is. What am I going to talk about? I don't know. My lack of work on my needlebook, maybe. How slack I've been with it. But I enjoy the slow stitching. It's so so relaxing, and you don't have to think about it. You can use whatever you want, any fabric, any thread, any stitches. You can make it. You don't need fancy thread, you don't need fancy fabric, you don't need anything other than your general sewing supplies. to be able to put something together, and it's so much fun. You can just sit and stitch, and it doesn't have to be perfect, and that was something I was going to struggle with, because you know, I'm so used to things having to be precise, but with this it doesn't need to be, which is the beauty of it. Now this is going to be fun. I've gone and left my thread too short, but we will get that through there and go backwards. Okay, that is one of them on. I love the raggedy edges and the excuse me, the rawness of it. It's makes it very organic, would be the word. And I'm just using embroidery floss. I don't know what colour it is. It came off that card. I don't know what brand it is. If it matches, then I'm using it. So I've got to go to work this afternoon, and then I'll be bringing Spencer home. So I don't even know what we're going to have for dinner. No doubt he'll dictate that. So I've got to go down to the supermarket and get a few things first. So I will do that this morning. And then I will be a bit more organised for him. This is so boring for you to watch, but it'll be really good when it's done. So after all these pages are done, then I just have to stitch them together around the outside, and then do all the embellishing on the back pocket, and then put it all together. So that's another project off my list, because the list is very long of all these started pieces that are not finished. But I got a few done in my spring soiree, 7 days of spring soiree series that I've just recently done, so that was good. I don't know how often I'll do these craft with me's, but because I just worry that, you know, I always want to do them, and I always enjoy watching other craft with me's, but when I think about doing them, I think, what am I going to talk about? I don't want to get on and, you know, repeat myself and tell you stories I've already told you, or I don't want to talk about the weather. You don't want to hear about my life. You know, there's nothing exciting to tell you there. Don't want to talk about the kids, because this is, you know. But anyway, we will jabber on and find something to talk about. I don't know what, but so I'm just doing a simple running stitch. And sewing these patches on. So this is just craft felt, and this is where the needles will go. I will be writing on the calico with a, with a fabric pen, what each sewing needle is for, because when I craft, I just grab any needle and use it. I don't and I need to write on there what their job is and what's their purpose, so that I can use the right needle for the right job. So, you know, whether I do it in here, down the side, or just wherever there's a space, I will put a little, I'll write, you know, what tapestry needles are for, what the quilting needles are for, what the, you know, I know the darning needles, but just as a quick reference, because I never know. Oh, that was my thumb. Lucky no bad words came out. And just do 2 knots in the back. And that's that one done. Okay. And that's my slow stitched pin cushion. So that's that page done. Okay. So that's the front page. So that will go there. And then this is this page. And you'll see that they're all different sizes, and because I've torn them rather than cutting, it yeah, gives it a bit of character, I would say. So we'll move that one out of the way, and we will work on this one. Okay. Yeah, with the slow stitching you can use wool, you can use pearl cotton, you can use embroidery floss, anything, and that's what I like, because it gives it dimension and character. And I'm doing a journal of stitchery. I I haven't done much on it. I'm still, I think there are like 3 pages of stitches that you do as like an index to the beginning of the book, and then there were themed pages for each, was it, I think it might have been each month, I can't remember. But yeah, I need to do some more work on that too, so maybe that's something we can do together if I don't bore you to death and you know, with my ramblings. So I don't think I've even got it out here, have I? I think it's in the other basket. Yeah, no, it's inside. So, but I'll be able to share that and show you what that's all about. It's called the YouTube channel that is, they're doing a new one at the moment which I haven't watched any of, but the first one they did, it's 2 sisters, and it's called Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, and they do all the slow stitching. Oh, they're beautiful. Some of the, you know, they're pieces of art, and they're so creative and what they're doing. So Sarah and Rachel, and so they're the two. But Sarah lives here in Australia, and Rachel lives, is she in Italy? She's over in Europe somewhere. Pretty sure it's Italy. But oh yeah, they're beautiful. Really lovely pieces. They're doing a Christmas one at the moment. I think it's nearly finished, the Christmas series, and they give you prompts. So, and that's on YouTube. So, if you're into the, you know, all the hand needlework and embroidery, then it is really, really fun. So, and they show you how to do all the stitches and you know, their ideas of how they're putting the journals together. But I scoured the internet for so long trying to figure out how I wanted to make my needle book, and then it just, you know, getting ideas of what I wanted in it and what features I wanted it to have, and then I came up with this sort of idea of just doing fabric pages, keeping that part simple, but really decorating the cover. So, and then I'll be able to put all my needles in and know what they're for and where they are, and because I'm forever losing my sewing, well, cross-stitch needles I'm always losing. Found one in my bed when it stabbed me in the leg in the middle of the night, so that wasn't ideal, but hopefully this will eliminate some of those things happening. Okay. that is that little part on. Pull that off there because it's not going to be long enough to get all the way around. Yeah, so I'll have to go and watch the Christmas one that they're doing because I love Christmas. It is my favourite. I think they've got Facebook groups too. But I had a few months off Facebook. So because my Facebook account got hacked, so I never bothered going back on there, and it was quite refreshing. And I was off Facebook for probably, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 weeks, and it was so good. So I've since rejoined back up with a new Facebook account, so I'm not in any groups, I'm not on any pages, and I've only got like and I only went back on because you know, I needed to talk to my son who's in New Zealand, so that was the only reason why I would have been quite happy to stay off it. I still had Instagram and TikTok, and those were my main two, but I just really enjoyed not being on there. So but I'm back on there now. I may you know, it's just going to be for, I don't have any plans on you know, joining any groups, or it's just so nice to be away from it all. And the other thing was, I used to use it for, and the kids keep saying to me, "Mum, you've got to get Facebook back," is Facebook Messenger for video calling. So that's how I see the grandkids, and my kids, of course, they ring on there. We do use FaceTime as well, but Messenger is seems to be the one they use the most, or want to use, because you can have the group chats. So it's quite funny, we have group chats. You know, some of us are in the same house, and then yeah, we're all talking, but you know, she's in the next room, or so. But if it weren't for those reasons, then I definitely wouldn't have it. I didn't miss it, put it that way. Alright, the bottom again. Good thing about this is it doesn't have to be perfect. It is just enjoying the process, and that's what the slow stitching movement is all about. I don't know how I'm going to sew the pages in. I'll probably just do like a stem stitch or something to join them in the centre. I could use a sewing machine, but I want it to be all handmade, the whole lot. But I'll see how strong it's going to be first before I do that. Where is that? Okay, that's those two bits down. So let's have a look. So tapestry. So these will all be stitched together, the pages. So there'll be two together. And then these two together. These two together. Who would have thought there were so many different needles? These two together. I've already done that one. These two together, and then there's a spare page on the back. Okay, right, shall we do another one? Why not? What is that in there? Okay, so let's take all these out. We'll move that out of there. Put that over there. Those are pinned together, I think. Yes. Take that out of there. That out of there. I suppose that one's pinned together too. It is. Okay. Okay. Put that page there. Okay. That one there. And then that one there. Okay, let's thread our needle again. But it's good to use all these bits and pieces that have been given to be able to use them. Otherwise they just sit there and do nothing. I sorted out the other day all my buttons, because I'd been given this amazing craft, I call it a craft room. It was everything. And there was a big duffel bag full of buttons. And so what I'd been doing, just have a drink. What I'd been doing is collecting coffee jars, and so the other day I soaked them in the sink to get the labels off in some hot water, and then I had about 12 of them, I think, that I'd collected, because I knew that I wanted to put the buttons in them. Yeah, soak the labels off and then put them through the dishwasher. And then I got this big duffel bag that was full of buttons. Most of them were colour coordinated to a degree, and I put them all in the jars. Let me grab one and I'll show you. So I washed them in the dishwasher and filled up these jars. I mean, so I've got 12 of them full, all different colours, different. Look, I mean, look at that big square one. How can you see that? How cool is that? So now all my buttons are organised. So that was a fun project, picking them up off the floor as I dropped them, and so, but they're all done now. The lids are ugly, and I don't know what I can do about that, because they're plastic, so I wouldn't even be, well, I could probably paint them, but I might just leave them as they are. But there were so many buttons in there, and lots of them were old vintage buttons still on the button cards, which I haven't put in the jars. I've separated all the button card ones, and put those aside. I don't know how I'm going to store those, but oh, there was some, yeah, there's pearl buttons, there's wood buttons, there's, you know, blue ones, brown ones, cream ones. So those were just the buttons that I got given from my husband's friend's mum. And then I've got my mum's buttons, which I'm keeping separate from those. And this is where I've used some of them on the cover of my needlebook. So those were in the stash. So, but you can embellish them in, you know, any way you think possible. The possibilities are endless. Come on, you. There we go. So that was a good job to get off my list. And the labels came off so easily. They're only in the water for 5 or 10 minutes, and some of them came off as a whole piece, where others I just used the back of a spoon and then popped them all in the dishwasher, and they were done. So we're getting ready for the silly season at work. You know, once we get through Halloween, which is coming up, Christmas is our busiest season. So I'm guessing I will be, you know, picking up a few extra shifts, and which is good. Keeps the money rolling in. Excuse me. Right. Now this piece of felt. Get that one stitched on, and then I think we will leave it at that. Do this last one together. I really need to find something to talk about. Okay. When I come back from the supermarket, I'm going to sit down and do a bit of cross stitch and watch the House of Dragons, which is the Game of Thrones series. I don't watch TV or movies, or I watch YouTube and I watch craft videos, and that's it. But I have watched all of Game of Thrones and read the books. Not all the books. And Outlander's the other one I've watched. But I haven't started the new series yet, so I need to start that. So I'm going to sit down with some stitching. I may carry on with this and watch that, and then I'll have to toddle off to work. Because I won't be able to watch it while Spencer's here. Need to have 10 sets of eyes on him. He's so quick. I have to go and put everything up high. you know, he's good with all the ornaments and stuff, but he doesn't touch any of that. But what he likes is anything with buttons. So, and he can reach the garage door remote now, so we have to move that up high. But yes, they certainly grow way too fast. He's going to be 3 in February. So and yeah, and his mum's birthday's today, so, and then it was my other daughter, my middle daughter, it was her birthday the day before yesterday, and she was 22. So from now on until the new year is the majority of birthdays in our family. So, and after my daughter's today is my son. He's in November and he will be 16. And then I will have 2 16-year-olds for 6 weeks. They're the same age for 6 weeks a year. And then my daughter, my youngest daughter, will be 17. So it is all birthdays from here on in. Right. That is that page done. Is that something digging into me? Okay, so what do we got? Where does that page go? That's 1, 2. Then there'll be that page there and there. So I might go and finish these 3 pages and get to the supermarket, do my jobs, and then sit and watch TV for a bit. So I hope you have a lovely day, whatever you're doing, and hopefully I might be able to get on and do another one of these little craft with me's another day. Okay, thank you very much for joining me, and I will talk to you all again soon. Bye.